Yingluck, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
If you become Prime Minister, what is your main aim?
I think first thing we have to aim for how we make Thailand move forward into both areas. The first area is by economy. Make sure that the economic and the wealth of the people back. And the second thing is restore the democracy back.
Obviously, your supporters would agree with that. What about the people who don't support your side of politics?
I have to talk with all group of the people, like yellow people, red people, and I'm sure that if we sit down and have two-way dialogue with them.
Well, in fact, you've already done some talking with those groups, haven't you? Is it true that you've met with the yellow shirts and even with the Palace Privy Council on the reconciliation issue?
I think just some part, because to get the idea, but not officially. But I think I understand how they think. So everybody think the same thing, that wants the country move forward.
Do you think that the general push for reconciliation on all sides of politics will be the same after the election, because one side has to lose?
No, I think we don't say one side has to lose. I think the country have to win. That's the aim. So might be compromise in somewhere. But I don't say right now that who will lose, who will win, because we set the country as the objective, and the will of the people will be the goal that we have to meet.
Every year that I spend in the world of politics convinces me that the need for women's rights is great. In my country, which is supposed to be one of the most progressive in the East with regard to women's rights, there is still gender discrimination. Girl babies, girl children are not given the same kind of attention as boy babies, boy children. That is where discrimination begins, because then the girls begin to think that somehow they are inferior to the boys. Perhaps they do not realize this consciously, but their whole life, their whole way of thinking is predicated on the idea that priority must be given to boys. So we have to work for women's rights, we have to work against gender discrimination, that our world may be richer. If we do that, then we will be promoting the cause of the whole human population, including the male population. So men should also join in the fight to get rid of gender discrimination. More women's rights means more human rights, means more rights for men, and a better, happier world for all of us.
It's about time, if not past time, that we had a woman president in the White House.
But it was not the time. History crystallizes in moments, but it is formed by decades. As she closed her campaign, Hillary Clinton thanked some of her most ardent supporters.
And to all those women in their 80s and their 90s, born before women could vote, who cast their votes for our campaign.
It was important to Clinton to put the period on this chapter in history, written by almost 18 million voters, many of them women.
You can be so proud that from now on, it will be unremarkable for a woman to win primary state victories. Unremarkable to have a woman in a close race to be our nominee. Unremarkable to think that a woman can be the President of the United States, and that is truly remarkable, my friends.
You get hit by shrapnel when you break barriers. There were questionable columns, over-the-top punditry, and no one else was asked whether he was tough enough.
And in the gentleman's words, we face a lot of evil men. You know, people like Osama bin Laden comes to mind. And what in my background equips me to deal with evil and bad men?
Her female supporters saw themselves in her struggles, both personal and political. She was in their comfort zone, sometimes too close for comfort. There was a teacher in Des Moines.
The hard thing is I am going through menopause.
It was always a delicate dance for Clinton to not be seen as the female candidate while counting on and courting the female vote with the promise of history and the pull of familiar experiences.